You know, what would you hope for the people to go away with that come today? What message? You know, what's your hope?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe some appreciation of, you know, maybe a better understanding of what goes into that. You know, it's a pretty big challenge.
Do you know? I mean, knowing the way people are these days, I mean, they might just very well say, "Well, we gave you some money, and we, you know, you know what I'm saying?"
Oh yeah, oh, quite well.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, I think me and Michelle's expectations are more so than any of our customers. I mean, we're our harshest critics. I mean, I'm not naive to the fact when I'm having a bad year or something's going wrong. I mean, we know before anybody, and so. I mean, we're our own worst critics, and we're always trying to do better. And yeah, you know, I've said this before. You're only as good as your last box, and it better be a good one.
It's like the food business. It's like the restaurant business.
Absolutely, people have a sour meal or leave with a sour stomach from the way they've been treated or whatnot. Then, you know, hey, there's Joe's right next door or right down the street or across the street, or there's all other alternatives. For us, there's not really that many CSAs to. I mean, I'm not getting a lot of competition, which I hope that one day. I mean, there's plenty enough room, 10 million people in the state of Michigan, for crying out loud. But it's you know, I just want to strive to do better and just do a better job. And since we're the leaders in CSA in Michigan, we want to put a good name on that face. And that's what Michelle says, and I agree with her. I mean, you know, if we're putting out shitty boxes all the time and whatever, and making excuses, and I've made plenty of excuses, but the excuses, I mean, I learned you just got to go find something else to do, because when I didn't have tiling, when I didn't have irrigation, I mean, I'll tell people on the farm tour, I'll say, look at these low areas here where the plants are really, really small, and then now if I didn't have tiling, there would still be water there. And even though my tiling's at 40 feet, I really needed at 20 feet, and there's the reason why right there. And maybe they'll understand about the tiling, and then you really cannot grow vegetables in this state to make money unless you have irrigation. You can forget about it. If you're waiting around for the rain, or you're looking to weather forecast with your fingers and toes crossed like me and Michelle have till they've cramped, it don't work.
So part of the story is that we're investing in the farm for something in the future, that a stability of the product in the future.
Yeah, I mean that we're the model for this in the state, and that I want to see other farmers doing this. I mean, I only want so many customers, and even if I went to 2,000 families, which I doubt I'll ever do, it would still be like one big suburban subdivision. I mean, in other words, that it could be a lot of people doing this if they could get through the hurdles and the financial instability and get a helping hand along the way. But I think that we can eliminate a lot of people from making some bad choices and bad decisions about how they're going to get started. But yeah, I mean, if you're not ready to give up your summer vacations, and you're not ready to, I mean, there are no days off. There are no days off, and it's 24/7. I mean, I'm laying in bed wondering how many deer are out there having their midnight snack. You know, the only thing I can feel comfortable about is the crows are roosting. Otherwise, I'd be worried about them. And so it's definitely high pressure. Man, is it high pressure, because you got a lot of critics. I mean, you know, people are looking in the box and they're going, this is a bunch of BS, or wow. And I want them to go, wow. And I think we're to the point now where that we, you know, as much as we can, control our own destiny. I mean, me and my wife, if this farm fails, I don't care. It sure hasn't been for a lack of effort. I mean, we've given our souls. I mean, I think I've sold my soul somewhere that if I have 2 good years in a row, what kind of deal did I make here? But the fact is that if the farm doesn't make it, it's certainly not for lack of effort. I could not ask any more of anybody than I've asked of Michelle.
And you and Michelle are willing to show other people how to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, I got to make some peñones too here. I mean, I still have $1 in a savings account. Not one. I don't even have a savings account. Okay, so do a lot of people. Okay, but a lot of people don't have. You know, I mean, you've got all the things of business that can go wrong, and then you got to throw in the great overrider of Mother Nature, and you know, and everybody's going, "Oh, I bet you love the rain." Well, I don't want it to rain no more. Why don't I want any rain? A farmer would rather see a dry year than a wet year, because I can take water to my crops. Any more than this, becomes bad. So, will I have any control if it rains Monday or Tuesday? Hell no. You got to roll with it, baby, and so it's a challenge, and I like it because it's a challenge. But I like it when things are going good.
It doesn't sound to me like we're talking anybody into doing it.
I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of people that have had visions of grandeur and come out here and taken one look at me and Michelle and taken a look at my poor wife's hands and said, you know what, it's hot outside, you know, and you're working Saturdays and Sundays, and not to mention then how many hours are you working, and I've said it to you before. If I'd have known that it entailed all this, I wouldn't have done it. I mean, I really wouldn't have. I really got myself into a situation where it was like, all right, I'm in this deep. How much longer can I tread water with a cement bikini on? I mean, you know, and then Michelle giving up her job and coming to try to make it float, and so I mean, it's been. I mean, hopefully we'll see a payoff, a payday from it, but. It's more than the money, even though God willing. I mean, it's nice to be able to sleep without the phone ringing. It's more about a way of life for us, and a way to tell people that don't believe the bullshit that you're hearing from these big agri companies, the Monsantos and ADMs, Archer Daniels, Midland, and Cargill, and all this unnatural food, the genetic modification. I mean, that's the real picture, and the fact that this one farm with 2 families, us and the Alferos and Juan Rodriguez, are feeding probably 3,000 people a week minimum.